Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate, episode number 3 reaction. So the previous episode, both Saito and Akane, after they started living together, they had their own problems. Each of them were accustomed to doing things in their own way. For example, how Akane is very particular about stuff while Saito just doesn't care about anything. Doesn't do the dishes, waits for like a week or something for doing it, doesn't take out the trash, does the same thing. All these things, their own little like things that they're accustomed to, kind of clashes, and it seemed like they were not really going to like survive like this, like their whole situation. In the end, both of them decided to compromise, meet in the middle, and both decided to do it, or kind of like do the things that they used to do, but they will try to understand the other's point of view as well. So Saito was like, I'm going to do the dishes on these days, while Akane was like, okay, you can play your games, but play your games when I'm not there. I'm because she doesn't like the zombie stuff and all. Anyways, it was good. Both of the characters communicated and came to a decision, which is something a lot of animes lack nowadays. So I'm kind of glad that they resolved it that quickly and that easily. I'm sure they'll have more trouble in the future, but yeah, let's see what happens. Let us begin episode number 3. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. My wife. Yeah. Oh, is it some scary movie or something? It's some scary movie, isn't it? Oh, never mind. Uncut version? 20. 100 yen? What? Right. Um, as much as I love cats, I would also be bored. For 3 hours? No. No. Well, yeah. 30 minutes later. Damn, how? How did you lose? That's my question. You've been playing for so long. Right. She's awake. Yeah. Hmm. No. Right. All right. Hmm. What? Oh boy. Yeah. Oh yeah. About that. Only the first period. Oh boy. What in the? What is that? Right. Yeah, you probably. Communication skills. um. What? Right. Well. Yeah. Oh boy. The- oh lord. No, he said shopping. You guys live together. Yeah. What? What? Oh no. And today, yeah, just for some reason. Oh no, this is a problem. Oh no. Oh no. 1 kilo. What? Right. Um. Oh. Well. Wow. What is going on? Yeah, like that? Yeah. Right. Oh, because okay. Sait was reading that book. Well, right. Hmm. Okay, Nekoka. Yeah. Wow. He's like, damn, I didn't even think about that before. Oh my god. 50 yen? That is crazy cheap. That, oh my god. Wow. Right. Yeah. Yeah, she. What are you on about? Bruh. Okay. No, she came close to him. Yeah, that's why. Gouge out. Um. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Right. Oh boy. Right. Yeah. None of them slept. Well, yep, none of them slept. Hey! Hey, yo, it's on fire! Bro. Why is the tie on without your shirt? Who does that? That's big. What in the hell? I um right. Yeah, you guys are sharing food. What about that though? Yeah. Exactly. Oh god. Right. Crazy. Crazy. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh, yeah. She's not slept for a while, so yeah. He wants to win against Saito. That's why. Wow. You're probably dead by then. Oh, yes, she's asleep. Oh no, fever. Damn. Right. Hmm. Ah. Maybe something to do with her, like parents, maybe. Right. So that was bruh. Oh damn, it's increasing. What the hell? Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's not how it works. But no, like like damn, like the fever. The fever medicine is not working, so that is like means it's pretty serious. It's increasing. Yeah. Hmm. Right. The month of. Yeah. Right. Yeah. What? Okay, this guy is something different. He. I think he was able to. Oh, that. Yeah. Damn. Yes. Bruh. Right. Yeah. All right. Hmm. That was today's episode. Okay, so I'll end this episode a little bit quicker today. My reaction. The discussion will be a little bit shorter, and next episode onwards, it'll go back to the normal length. Anyways, today's episode we had a little bit more, I guess you could say, progress, you know, and you know what, it's wrong to say a little bit progress, because I feel like in these 3 episodes the stuffs that happened here is probably way more progress than a lot of other shows have been able to get in 3 seasons. Because the first episode was basically them at each other's throats. The second episode was them coming to a compromise and, like kind of meeting in the middle. And now we have the third episode where, yeah, like it seems like they actually like each other. This is like some huge progress in 3 episodes, in the length of 3 episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that a lot of other shows complete in like 1 season or something. So, that is pretty damn impressive. I'll have to say this. Right. But anyways, like I feel like the reason why the things are like going so smoothly is because, again, communication. That is like the main thing a lot of animes kind of don't do, just for the sake of dragging the story out. And like they just go through it so slowly. Like sometimes it's nice to like enjoy the journey, but then there's times when you're like, bro, come on, like it's been 3 seasons, like what is happening? That's a bit too far. So seeing stuff happening this quickly is pretty damn crazy. Like from the very beginning, this show was already like way ahead of a lot of other rom-coms because of the fact that these two are already married. But then, like now we have the whole character development, the like the emotional development that goes on in these type of shows. That is also kind of on a speed run. You can see that. Like it's literally crazy how quickly, like like both of them are just like now so used to each other, and actually like thinking about the other person, both of them. Right. So yeah, and that's kind of nice to see, I guess you could say. Yeah. So today's episode had a few things. First and foremost, we had them kind of like trying each other hobbies out. As we can see, like Akane likes to watch cat documentaries or something. I don't know what the hell that was. Like I also love cats, but watching cat videos for 3 hours, like nah, man, that is a bit too much. I feel like. So that is, yeah. Saito just went asleep, fell asleep, and then they played games, which is something that Saito liked, and Akane also enjoyed it. So each of them tried out their own hobby, each of their hobbies, and they decided to give it a try in the future as well. So that is the first thing that we saw here. Again, this is like more emotional development, you could say, because both the characters, they like something and dislike something else, but because they're living together, they decided to give the other one a try. And that's what happened here. And you could say like Akane even liked playing video games, because she was able to defeat Saito over there, which is something that usually doesn't happen. As we saw in the tests, she's not able to do that. So playing video games, she was able to defeat Saito, and she was like, damn, this is pretty fun. I think that's like the main reason why she liked the game so much, because she was able to defeat Saito. And I don't know how the hell this dude who plays video games all day, how he lost to a beginner. That makes no freaking sense. Anyways, right. Then we have, that was the first part, and then we had the next section where the both of them goes together to do a little bit of shopping, you know and you can see obviously Akane trying to explain to Himari, that was her name, wasn't it, the Gyaru girl? Yeah, I think so, Himari. She tells her that she was like, oh, I'm free today, like, and she was telling her like they can go and eat parfait today, which she always wanted. And yeah, but Akane gave all of that up so that she could go with Saito to you know to shop, and Saito as well went along with her. And you can see how obviously it's like a completely new thing to them. So Saito is the type of person, as we saw, he doesn't really care about the prices. He just sees the price tag and he's like, oh, this is the one. He's that type of a character. While we have Akane here, who's very, you could say, like saves her money, and like reasonably takes like stuff that are reasonable priced. for example, as you can see here, she was like, oh, there's two types of eggs. This one's like the whatever premium quality eggs or whatever, while this one is the normal household eggs that we use. This one is 20 yen cheaper than this, so we should go for this instead of just seeing something and just taking it without even thinking about the price tag. This is what we do, and it makes sense why she's like this, because as we get to know later on, her parents are, like, I'm guessing she's like, she comes from a very reasonable like household, not, as crazy as Saito's place, which is Saito's basically like, like gets everything, like they're rich, while her, grandmother, that is why her grandmother was like, oh, we will, like, I will cover your studies, that's why you have to get married, that whole thing. So that's what happened, and it makes sense why she is very like reasonable in spending money, because she comes from a reasonable household where they don't have, like they're not as rich as Saito, where she can just like spend money willy nilly. She cannot do that. So that is why she is very conservative in this sense, like conserves money, tries to do her best to, save. Yeah, and that is that. So, and then they tried to get the 50 yen chicken, but they failed because, there's too many veterans out there who are all accustomed to go in there in the sea of people and get one of the chicken, like, like stuff. 15 is pretty damn cheap. It makes sense why people were going so crazy over there to get a hand of those, because yeah, like I don't really know that much about, obviously this is like Japanese yen, so according to, like, like currency wise, I don't know how cheap it is, but it's pretty damn cheap, because 50 yen is, I think it's quite cheap, like not quite, but it's actually very cheap, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, it makes sense. Everyone was going crazy back there. And yeah. Anyways, they had a good laugh over there, and then they came back home. And here again, you can see at the end, like that section where Saito was like kind of trying to poke her cheek. She wakes up and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And again, I really like the fact that he actually told her the truth, because he literally said like, oh, like, because you look kind of cute, that's why I was trying to poke your cheek. And that kind of cleared up the misunderstanding, and she was more understanding of that. So that is pretty, I guess you could say, different from, because I was 100% expecting him to try to avoid and be like, oh no, I didn't do anything, like something like that. But he actually told her, like, without like, like trying to get away from that. And because he told the truth, she was more, I guess you could say, accepting of it. And that whole scene didn't end up in a full-blown fight. So yeah, that was pretty wholesome. And it's pretty interesting to see something like that, because that's usually not how it goes in anime. uh like, because 90% of the time that scene would end up in them starting to quarrel with each other, where in other shows maybe that would have what would have happened. But that's not how it goes here. He was truthful about it, and she was like, okay, fair enough. That's it, end of story. Like, that's what happens. Like, that is what communication is. You need to be frank and very, like, like truthful to what you're, like what you want and what you're trying to, say. If you like kind of just be wishy-washy about stuff, then yeah, obviously the other person don't really know you. You two are kind of strangers at this point. You've barely been, like living together for a few days. So the other person wouldn't know about you as much, so they cannot guess what you're thinking. That's going to happen later in the relationship when you two know each other. Now you need to be truthful. Just be truthful what you want and what you're trying to do, and there you go. That's all that was required. Yeah, and then you can see outside Akane was sharing the the croissant, I think, or was it a cream puff? I don't know what that was. Whatever that was. Um, with Saito, Himari sees that, and she's like, "Oh, like I don't know what's happening here. He was just following me." And then she starts saying stuff about like she like threw away the food and he picked it up from the ground and he's eating it. Anyway, that's kind of funny, like both of them kind of, yeah. And but obviously another thing I really like is that both of them knows that, like, and especially Saito knows that Akane does this because she is doesn't want other people to know what's going on, and that's why she acts like this. So even though literally a scene like this happens where they're literally at each other's throats outside, immediately in the next scene where we see both of them are at their house, their way of talking to each other changes drastically because now they are in a different place and they are not really trying to hide anything from anyone. So that is also very impressive because it kind of shows that they knows whatever happens outside is something that we are playing, like acting out, so that other people are not suspicious. So grudges from outside, where you're in public, don't really carry into the house. In the house, they're completely like normal, and they don't really even bring that up. That, oh, back then outside you said something like this to me. None of that, because each of them knows that that is completely separate and that is something different. So yeah, and here then we get to see her trying to study so that she can you know be better than Saito. So Saito is a genius, you have to say. He has like photographic memory or something like that. He sees something in his school, he memorizes it immediately, and then he just doesn't study at all. That is such a I what can I say? I feel like that is such an envious like um talent to have. I've always thought like how good it would have been if you could just memorize anything in a matter of seconds just by reading it once. Like that is such an enviable like thing to have. And just imagine the amount of time you'll have. You don't have to study anything. Not anything, like that's a bit too far, but you won't have to study much. You can just read something and be like, oh, it's going to remember. I'm going to remember this. And yeah, like stuff like that. It's just I don't know, something. But then again, people also bring up the fact that people who have photographic memory, since they don't forget anything, sad memories linger a lot more, and it makes people more suffer because memory is something that goes along with like goes away along with time. As they say, time is the best healer or something like that. For them, that's an exception. Time cannot be a healer for them because they don't forget anything. So all the sad memories and everything will always stay there, and it'll always haunt them. So that's obviously another disadvantageous thing about that. But still, damn, it's just such an envious talent to have. Just like remember anything by just reading it once. You'll be at the top of the like school academic like performance. You'll be the best at that, and without even putting much effort to it, or putting as much effort as is needed. Anyways, I went on a tangent. So yeah, Akane is like, I'm going to, like, yeah, I'm going to defeat you. And you can see Saito like brings her snacks at night every single day from that point onwards. But then one day you can see she gets sick. She becomes ill. Saito sees that she has a fever, and this is where she tells us, and Saito as well, that her grandma has, um, here we go. My grandma promised to fund my education if I married you. Um, uh, that is so. What can I say? I just don't understand these two grandparents. Their deal. Like the two main characters are obviously we can see like like they're very good characters. But the grandparents are just so like more and more that I. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Imagine your grandma saying something like that to you, like, oh, you have to get married to this person, otherwise I'll not fund your like education. Like, bro, what type of a I don't know, it just seems so underhanded, I would say. Like, yeah, you can argue that, oh, then just don't get married. Yeah, she's not really forcing you to do it, but still, it seems so underhanded. Anyways, whatever. Yeah. Okay, and this is where she also kind of says, like, I kind of admire you as well. Obviously, she didn't want to say that because she was feverish. That's why it came out of her mouth. Anyways, then you can see, like, even after taking the medicine, her fever is increasing. So Saito's like, let's take you to the hospital. He wanted to bring an ambulance, but she's like, no. For me, I don't want anyone else to have a, like I can understand her point. Basically, she's saying, like, like, just because I have a fever, I don't want any ambulance to come to me where that ambulance could go to someone else and save a life. Like, that's what she's trying to say. But then again, like, if she was left alone, there was a possibility she could reach that stage where, like, she would actually need medical attention. It would become a threat to her life. So that's not really a, I don't know, like, a good point to make, because I could argue then, oh, the only thing that he would have required is an ambulance and maybe like 1 or 2 days in the hospital. But now that you're more sick, I could argue that now you'll have to stay in the hospital for 10 days, and for the rest of the 8 days that you could have prevented from staying there, some other patient could have taken that bed. Like, I can argue that as well. So that's not really a good logic, but obviously she would, like, at that point she didn't want to inconvenience someone. But like, best thing is to try to fix yourself up before it goes to like a certain threatening degree. Like, it deteriorates so much that you need extra medical attention. Best thing is that, because, yeah, like, that's the best way to, like, do stuff. But Saito decided to take her himself to the hospital. He carried her there, right? And next, after that, Akane is fine again, and it was a cold. And then Saito wakes up. Akane threatens to put the hot pan on his face to wake him up, and he wakes up. Yeah. Anyway, this is also where we see Saito has recorded that, oh, I admire you, that line. And later on at school, when Himari was like kind of like teasing him, she comes in and she's like, oh, you're already married, don't pay attention to others. Oh my god, that was cute. Right, and that's where it ended. Good episode. Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to end the discussion here. I'll go back to my normal long length discussion from the next episode onwards. But yeah, that was another very wholesome episode. I'm very impressed with the fact that these two characters are just like progressing so quickly that a lot of other animes are not able to accomplish in like 1 or 2 seasons. That is impressive. So that is it. That was my reaction. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of I'm Getting Married to the Girl I Hate. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.